as their guys will do battle with the New Orleans Saints. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Tight into the right. Move. Even.
Here we go. 180.
Jam him.
There we go. Going to 53.
Ezekiel Elliott, even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stops short of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Yes, sir. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that.
Hey, here we go. 180. Here we go. 46.
Mike's 56.
56.
Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. Quick slant there. Gets him the first down. 6 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
46.
Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
46.
First down, Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Here we go. 180.
Got 4.
Switch is A.
56. Mike, 56.
26.
Prescott down.
Pick it up.
Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star,
and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Hey, here we go. 41, 46.
Second
Right
half,
there.
and some of these
Hey,
shorter
we're going right
gains
there. We're
turn
going
into
right
bigger
there.
runs later.
47. 26.
Third down, it's Prescott. Throwing the out, incomplete. That's Cannon. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series.
Watch tight, watch tight. Tight end right, tight end right.
Here we go. Wide, ain't it?
4 down, check. 4 down, 4 down.
26.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more,
Yo,
strong
Trip is
running,
here, baby.
excellent
Yo,
blocking at the
Trip
point of
is
attack.
here.
They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Watch tight end.
Sweats is A.
His right.
What do you think?
4 down, 4 down.
Here we go. 46. 26.
First down for the blitz coming, and down he goes. Darren Lee.
Here they come, here they come, here they come.
Coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Gun.
Let's go, defense. Let's get up.
Here we go. Wide, A. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not
Nice
at
pick,
all,
nice
but this
pick.
is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he
14.
has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week.
Heavy rush, and down he goes.
Under 10,
David
under 10,
Irvin
10.
in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator
can't
and I see an
stop
all-out
us.
rush like that, I file it away. Because
Good,
I'm
good,
going to use
left,
aggressiveness
ready.
against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
What's that? What's that?
Breeze going on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. Sean Lee in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Because of this.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it
12,
here.
56. Monday.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
To Kamara, it's Breeze. He'll buy some time right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
That's it, man.
Here we go.
A very solid gain of 27.
Ready, what's that?
Now a quick fake here on first down. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Strong left, strong left. Too little, cupcake.
They run it now out of the gun.
Run.
That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running
21,
backs
21.
at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those
What's
guys
that?
who can break down defense
What's
in
that?
the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Charles Tapper in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. With it is Brown. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting? Where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. Win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Hey, let's get that.
Prescott on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Key 81.
Here we go. 26. 26.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Lay down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
56 to Mike.
26.
56.
3rd and long for Prescott.
Talking about it. And bring it.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
He wasn't
Seems
ready.
like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position.
One team on now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their
Kill.
goals. All right, number 1 goal is number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete.
Here we go.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there. Gets him a new set of downs. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone
break it down,
open.
fellas. Break
So
it
now
down.
2nd and 10 after the
Under
incompletion
12.
on first
Hey,
down.
kill.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First catch for it. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catches it, doesn't get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of it? The solo receiver.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. David Irving. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
On the Ringo.
Shot.
From midfield, here's Breeze. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So 1:55 to go in the
Break it
first
down, fellas.
half.
Break it down.
We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to get no run it now. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On to his 2nd play. He'll take a repeat of his first. Dallas gets set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
That didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they're doing.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Switch and 8.
Trying to throw now. Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. To the Marcus Williams. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him and catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout.
Here we go.
As they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Rolling on 1st down is Breeze. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half.
Here we go, here we go.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
12. 3 down. Ready, let's check.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Breeze to throw. Lead on the bubble screen. That's Bird. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. After a rare scoreless 1st half, these teams now just looking for something as the 2nd half gets underway. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a first down carry. It's Camara. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
To throw, it's Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
11.
3 down.
Breeze now comes down. On the check down, he finds Camara. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 to 36. Calling a pickup of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately took the catch for first down.
Now Breeze forced out to his left, and that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build.
On the draw, goes to Kamara, and he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz.
Breeze now to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. They figured out a better game plan.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook.
We got
3. Put it in that way.
The sneak good for 2, but it's still going to set up a 3rd down.
Yeah, partner, they went a little conservative, didn't they? They ended up driving it short. And now I wonder, will they even do it again on 3rd down?
He needed 2. He only got 1 on the sneak, and that's going to lead us to a 4th and 1.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up?
And he takes it across into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Drew Brees scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Saints are able to cash in for Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0.
We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how
Hey,
they were going to get
kill.
that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of
Go,
the time.
get out there, get out there.
Most of the time, you're scripting 12 to 16. In the second half, you're scripting 5 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be
Here we go,
second
46.
down.
Watch 89. Watch 89.
Throw left side complete. It's Elliott. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Tight. Tight end right. Tight end right.
Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there.
And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Let's go.
So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry. He is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
Watch tight end. 4 down. 4 down. Check.
Wait a sec.
He rifles round, is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man to man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
There we go. Right there. All day, baby.
There we go. Wide 80.
56. Check 56.
26. 26.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key.
The keeper with Prescott. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
I know you felt that one.
One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on second and goal.
Double tight.
Here we go. Wide 80.
4 down.
Here you go.
Take it.
Here we go. 47. 26. 26.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? Third and goal.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. You're almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
We got 4.
Ready. We're waiting.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, baby.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense,
Ready, what's that?
they've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Breeze.
All day, every day, any day.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Brown. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The
Four
only
down,
one happy
check.
about the 3-point kicker.
Ready.
That's what happened in the contract time. But that offense,
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, here we go. Wide eight.
Prescott to throw it. And he slings one that's incomplete.
we've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw.
Awesome.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go, 46.
Here's Prescott. Buying time to his right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. They tried to pull him down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's only one distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted.
I got one.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning.
Go. Hey, run it. Run. Last stop. Stop. 3 down.
Here we go. Go.
Spike 56.
Here we go, 46.
2nd down for Prescott. Left side, and he's got a man. It's Cannon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trying to catch everything.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Figuring they're going for it on fourth down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on fourth down.
Switch up.
What is it?
Mike's 50.
What is it?
He'll look to throw.
Double dog. That's the way.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football.
Here we go,
Understanding
46.
the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
What is it?
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And some room to work. He goes in. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. Flatliner. Level everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
And he is out of bounds here. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Watch the right.
Go. Get out there. What is it? What is it?
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Here I come.
Switch is A. What is it?
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Not a blitz, but the guy who's normally the last line of defense recognizes he had a chance to get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
What is it? Gun.
Switch.
Under. What is it?
He's not even going to get past the line of scrimmage. Brought down right at the 4. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
3 down.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone.
Reset!
In this case, they have not given up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Get set. 28 left.
Here we go. Tight right.
And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Here we go.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right. Move.
Ready. We're waiting outside.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Ready. Yellow weighty.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Here they come, here they come, here they come.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins. What year was that?